we should be creating content not for the likes, not for the validation, not for anything else other than we just love doing it. And we love talking about this thing, and we love photographing this thing outdoors or whatever, no matter who likes it or whatever. Once you take that burden off of yourself, you're so much freer, and then things come your way anyways. Office hours.
Yes, we're back. We missed, I guess, a week. And we're back. So, app is a little caught up right now. It should be ready by tonight. But the problem they were having was literally with deleting a picture. You couldn't delete a picture. They found. So that's being fixed right now.
Okay, that's good.
So,
but pictures are good to go.
Everything, and I've already. So Chris actually showed me like a simulation of the. I don't know if you've seen that. Did he show you that?
No.
Oh, you're nodding your head like yes. Like you're very in tune with this. Anyways, he showed me like a simulation of the actual code running, and it looks identical to what you created.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
At least the dashboard.
Yeah.
So I assume it's going to be the same with the rest of it, but the dashboard looks perfect.
Awesome.
Colors all perfect, which is a testament to you because you did a good job speccing it all out, so he could easily create it.
Yeah.
It's always good to have a symbiotic relationship with your programmers.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
So
100%.
That looks awesome.
Yeah. I'll make it as easy. I'm a big proponent of just concise, easy, clean, whether it's with design or anything else.
Yeah.
You know.
What style? So you're looking for a house right now. What style is that house going to be?
It's a loft style. It's a loft style 2-story house. So what I mean by that is, you know how a lot of townhomes, right? They'll have the living room, but it has a really tall ceiling because they're not using the ceiling of the living room for the second floor. Does that make sense?
So what's on the second floor?
Well, on the second floor, I mean, the second floor is not completely covered.
So it'd be like an area upstairs.
So it's open.
That's open.
For the living room, it's open to the
gotcha.
second floor ceiling.
Got it.
That is a very specific
That's very
style.
specific.
It's very specific.
I want a 37-year-old tree.
Yeah.
I want a loft.
Well, the thing is that,
oak
you know,
wood, no ash.
I see a lot of these 2-story homes, and it's just this. It just feels it. The square footage could be like 2,500 square feet, 3,000 square feet even. But if there's too many walls, if there's not enough light, having a tall ceiling really, and especially in the living area, the great room, which is where you spend arguably more of your time.
Yeah.
You want that to feel spacious. You want it to feel open and welcoming. So that's why we want that.
That makes sense.
You know.
Have y'all found any with that?
Yeah. I mean, we've put offers on 2 different houses.
Oh.
The first one, pretty early on.
Yeah.
Right.
That was a while ago.
Yeah. And there actually are a lot of those style houses more south of Dallas.
Okay.
So,
well, that's the location you're looking at.
right. It's just something comes up,
Yeah.
The market's crazy right now. We don't want to put ourselves in a situation just to get inside of a house.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we like those protections as buyers, especially with the rate at what these houses are selling for. And then the bank comes in with the appraisal and they're like, well, it's not worth, I know that's what people are paying for, but that's clearly not worth, $50,000 over where all the other houses are worth just because it was on sale,
I'm curious to know because buyers know that their houses are being oversold. If so many people are having problems with the bank not appraising it correctly, if the buyers are just dropping it, would they just drop it because so many people are like, no, we can't do that?
Well, that's why that's why the seller wants you to get an appraisal waiver.
Yeah.
They want you to sign appraisal. There's tons of people that are doing that.
What?
Tons of people, I'm telling
Unless
you,
you're
tons of
moving from
people
out of
from
town.
California are coming in, looking
Yeah.
at these skyrocketing housing prices, and from their perspective, it's the cheapest house they've ever seen.
And the biggest house they've ever seen for that kind of money. Like
Right.
$1 million here. But, well, you know what's interesting, though, is it's changing. Because, like, I don't know if you know this, but around, like, in the suburbs, like Louisville, Flower Mound, Keller, those areas, 20 years ago, those houses sold for an average of $20 a square foot.
Right.
Right now, I don't know what Dallas was back then, but right now, Dallas, so keep in mind, $20 a square foot back then in the suburbs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the city, houses in Dallas are going for 300 plus a square foot.
Yeah.
300 plus a square foot. Some of them are reaching like 350, close to $400 a square foot.
Oh my gosh.
So what's crazy is that, like, it used to be the place that everybody came for affordable houses, but not anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to get a house that's reasonable. Like, even my house, the rent house that I have, like, that house costs a fortune for what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't think it's, I mean, I wouldn't pay that money for that house.
And
now, like, what I'm selling it for,
Right.
you crazy? No way.
Well, and that's the thing, that there's so many different elements to this whole thing. There's a lot of people who want to sell their house right now who are choosing not to, even though they could make a killing.
Because they have nowhere to go.
Where the hell are they going to go?
Exactly. They're like, I can't find anything comparable or better than what I have now with that extra money. So they're choosing to wait it out, or, you know, just not selling right now.
What a conundrum.
I have friends that have started moving, like, way out. Like Aubrey,
Yeah.
Justin, like, getting way out there because they're like,
I
want a bigger
I looked
house.
at Justin too, and it's
Well,
like,
Justin's getting the same way.
it's crazy.
I don't
Yeah.
even know where that is.
It's
Yeah,
past
it's-
35.
Yeah.
It's like towards, like,
North.
yeah, it's like towards, like, Alliance Airport, kind of. Like Speedway area.
And Dallas isn't the only area, obviously. I mean, a lot of these Midwest cities are just having Iowa, freaking Boise.
I was about to say, maybe you told me that.
Yeah.
Idaho?
Idahoans are very
Idahoans.
mad.
That's right.
They are very mad at Californians, the influx of Californians, because there's people that have lived there all their lives, and they want a new house, and now they can't afford where they
A
already
house.
live, where they've lived their
Yeah.
entire life.
I know.
They were grandfathered in, and now they're kicked
Yeah.
to the curb
Yeah.
because they can't afford a house in their own place. I'm telling you, it's exactly what's happening right now, even in the suburbs, is like median home prices have gone from like $250,000 to, I think now in Texas, I think the median home price is like $480,000, $490,000, close to $500,000.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is just insane.
At
Now,
some point,
granted-
something's got to give.
Granted,
That's what
interest
I'm
rates are lower. They're
Still
higher
low.
now, but they're lower, so
They're
it's
still
it's
low.
more affordable to buy a house.
Below 3% still.
But I mean, gosh, like, where do all the people go?
I know.
Exactly.
Hayden and I just got our pre-approval letter.
Hey, that's exciting.
Yeah.
It is exciting, but it's like, now where do we go?
Right.
I'm just,
It's a hunt. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, it's a savage world out there.
I know.
The real estate world right now. People will do anything.
Well, here's the thing too. A lot of these sellers now, especially in Dallas, even though they can make a killing selling to a Californian, they'd rather sell to another
It's
local.
true. Very true.
So, like a
Very,
big
very
part
true.
of the process is you sharing your story, sharing a picture of yourself.
really?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've done
They
that.
ask for a picture?
I've done
They don't
that.
ask for it, but the
like
realtor
writing
highly
a letter.
suggests it.
Wow.
Hey. My name's Evan. I mean, it's just insane.
Yeah.
It's now like, you know what it's become? It's become like an appeals process for college applications.
Yeah.
Is you didn't get in, now we'd like you to plead your case as to why we should let
Yeah.
you in,
Yeah.
and tell us about your family and your struggles and
Right.
perseverances.
Yeah.
And show us a picture of your family and why this is the perfect house for you.
Yeah.
And where people think
Fine.
that it's not going to be like a resume, that they cook up some crazy ass story of, you know, I don't know.
I know friends in college who did that on their whatever essay they had to write.
Sure.
They just came up with elaborate stories
Yes.
to get into some of these colleges.
Yeah.
And it worked. It worked.
Well, you know what? And the other thing too is I know people for different reasons than what we're talking about. But if you really want a house and there's something wrong with you, just go have someone buy it for you.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I've seen that quite a few times with friends of mine. I almost did that for a friend of mine because they
Yeah.
couldn't get into this place.
But wouldn't your name be on it?
Well, you sell it to them the next day with a quick
Okay,
claim
I
deed.
see.
So it takes, you sign one
What?
signature, it
Yeah.
flips over to them. They, it takes 2 seconds to
That's crazy.
transfer the deed of a home and to sell it. And so that's another thing. We used to see that at the gun store. Do you know I used to work at a gun store?
Yeah.
Tell
I
you that?
remember you saying that.
That used to happen. Like felons would come in and like have their wives buy them guns and stuff.
Yeah.
Called a straw sale.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. It's and then more of these companies are popping up that because a lot of these sellers are there's cash only offers.
I know.
People doing cash only offers. So there's more companies coming out saying, "Hey, we'll buy the house you want with cash," and then you basically do
Yeah,
a
'cause
mortgage
your
with
bank,
us.
basically.
Yeah, they'll be your
This
bank.
makes me terrified that we're never going to find
It's a
out.
crazy market.
You'll
It's a
find
crazy.
it.
I mean, it's not
Yeah.
gonna. It's not sustainable for.
Yeah. I'm hoping at least by the end of the year it calms down. But then you have the factor of people are still going to move here. So will it really calm down?
I
Something's
don't
gotta
know.
give.
I mean,
I don't know.
so I don't know where that crack in the levee is, but it's somewhere because it can't. I mean, this is happening with airplanes right now too. Like the airplane market, there's a big talk in like the pilot world. Like the airplane market is insane. If you want to get your hands on an airplane right now, good luck. Can't find one.
Oh,
Doesn't
same with,
exist.
I guess
Auto
maybe it's all
industry.
manufacturing right now because Fords are the same way. Like even just to get a replacement part on a Ford truck is
Yeah.
impossible.
Tiffany just sold her car, and the amount of money they gave her was obscenely higher. That like we sold it to a dealership, and I was like, babe, hey man, like I don't know what's gonna happen here. They came back with a number. I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. That's more than I could get like online. It was insane how much they paid for that
They
car.
have no inventory.
My older brother
yeah.
and or my older sister and brother-in-law, they were telling me this past weekend, like he came home with 2 brand new cars. Like he took her car. He's like, "Hey, we're getting rid of your car." And she had a Denali. She had a nice. She's like, "I don't want to get rid of
That's
my
my
car." And he's
favorite
like,
car.
"You have no option. We are trading
Yeah.
your car. We're trading both of our cars in, and they got more money than what they paid for it."
Yeah.
Like
I have my good buddy Davis, we had on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
He bought a car, and about 3 weeks later, and it was probably a little more than that. It was probably like 6 months later. They called him back and said, "Will you please sell us your car? We'll give you back exactly what you paid for it. Like we'll literally just give you your money back." And he'd already put, whatever 7,000-8,000 miles on it.
Right.
He was like, "No, where am I going to get a car?"
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah. My
Wow.
stepdad works at the Park Place Lexus. And he had
That's
a
right.
killing year last year.
Yeah.
But this year it's like they have no inventory. They
Yeah.
can't keep up. The whole supply chain is feeling the effects of last year.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who quit their jobs who worked in a supply chain environment
Mm-hmm.
who are not returning because they got a taste of the home life.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe I'll find something. I'll work from home, be
Yeah.
with the kids more,
Yeah.
Be a family man.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I don't blame those people because if you spend a whole entire year rearranging your whole entire work structure and then, tomorrow they call you up and like, "Hey, we're going back to work full time." After you've spent a year and a half with your family at home, that's hard to do, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
But on the same token, we need cars.
We need some stuff.
Yeah.
What I struggle with is if you got laid off and you are making more money at home than you are in your job, that's not a sustainable model.
Yeah.
Like, but furthermore, just for the mental health of individuals, like, have you ever been in a time where like you achieved something and then you had like a ton of downtime and then you're like, oh, this is great, I'm just going to kick back and enjoy this. And then like a couple months in, it was terrible. You ever had that? It's happened to me a couple times.
Yeah.
Like you kind of just lose your purpose for a second and like you lose the goal to shoot for and like the mission in the process. I feel like that's happening and going to happen more.
Yeah.
Like if
I
you
could
don't,
definitely see that.
yeah, I mean, if you don't have something to wake up for every day and it's just an easy life to just get paid to be at home, like how is that sustainable just for your own head?
Yeah.
It's not.
It's definitely
I mean,
not.
easy is not really the whole purpose of this thing.
Well, and people think they want easy until you're in that situation, and like you said, you have no purpose, you're bored, you know, there's not a lot that you're striving for.
Exactly.
With the whatchamacallit, the manufacturing stuff that's going on, is it just the materials are so
chips.
hard to get? Or what is the issue with
it's
that?
kind of
other than
everything.
workers?
It's materials and workers.
Yeah.
Because I know lumber's gone up too.
Lumber's gone
Everything's
up.
gone up.
Steel has
and then
gone up.
and then there's the whole like all of a sudden everyone's a hacker now. They're hacking like oil chain supply chains. They're hacking meat now.
Oh, I saw that on LinkedIn.
What?
Yeah, something about
Those
the
meat
U.S.
hackers.
meat got hacked. I'm like, the U.S. meat? What?
Yeah.
That government cheese has been hacked again.
And then it's like,
Damn.
well, you heard about the oil thing, right?
My buddy is the one that flies that pipeline.
Wait,
Holy
is that
crap.
the one who goes back and
The
forth?
one that flies the
and
pipe
takes
from
pictures?
Houston to Midland. He's the one that flies that pipe.
Holy crap.
And
Oh my
that was his line that got hacked.
Well,
I
did he
said-
take pictures of the hackers?
Well, I said, what did you do? He goes, we didn't really fly. There was nothing to do.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing going through it.
So what happened?
Well, the hackers, they asked for this is a really bizarre story. They asked for like $5 million or something.
Which-
and then,
Sorry to set it up. Well, go ahead.
yeah,
I don't wanna ruin your
which
story.
by the way, I'm like, if you have the capabilities of hacking an oil pipeline that is, you know, significant, you ask for $5 million.
Yeah, what kind of
Well, I would
poor
ask
pauper
for
are
as
you?
much as possible.
Yeah.
If I was in that situation, it would be up, 500 million maybe.
Right.
Because I'm like, well, you can't survive without this. This is going to affect everything in the economy
Right.
if you don't get this pipeline done, opened. So why not take advantage? 5 million,
Yeah.
Peanuts.
peanuts.
Maybe they were really
It's bizarre.
And for this company that owns that line, that's rounding error.
Exactly.
It's like, okay, here. Sure,
Yeah.
give us our stuff back. $5 million, go away.
Yeah. Shoe fly.
Yeah.
And so they paid them, and
They did.
they did.
At first they said they did not.
Yeah.
They came out and they were like, we did not pay the hackers. We're working with a third-party firm to restore our data. And then like 2 days later, it was like, yeah, we just paid them.
Well, you paid the hackers.
Yeah. And the government was like, oh, it's a private business. We're not going to get involved in it. I'm like, really? Now you choose not to get involved
Yeah.
out of all the times? But it also, my conspiracy brain just pops up and I'm like, well, what if all these different places now can use that as an excuse to artificially inflate their product? Because gas went up big time after that.
Well, but that was when people. Did you see all those pictures, like people filling up like laundry baskets of gas in their car and stuff?
Laundry baskets.
People were filling up like plastic, like Ziplocs, and like
What?
people were
No.
filling. Did you see that one meme where like the husband and wife have like all the red gas cans in the back of their trunk?
No.
No. No. Well, that's why, because people were all freaking out that there was going to be a gas shortage, and I'm like, chill. It's like the toilet paper thing. It's like it's
Yeah.
going to be there.
Exactly.
Toilet
all right.
paper. The one thing you think about
Yeah.
in an
Oh my
apocalypse.
God.
Apocalypse. Everyone is going to fall ill. You know what we're going to run out of? TP. We have to get the toilet paper.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Get in the car.
Not
We're
many
going to
people are
Costco.
going to survive a real apocalypse, I
know.
don't think.
I wonder what would happen if like something really went down. I don't want to talk like this.
I know.
Sure.
But I mean, I don't think, based off of the fire drills that we've had, I'm not super confident in everybody like working together.
Yeah.
They're
Working
chaotic.
together, and we're not taught in school, unless you did like Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts or something, how to do basic things outside. You know,
Yeah.
start a fire.
But just common knowledge, like, okay, there's a gas shortage. Well, I'm probably like, if I run out of gas, I'm gonna be okay. Like, what's the fear of running out of fuel? Like, I don't understand. Why is there's bounty of transportation methods?
Yeah.
Call an Uber, call a friend. Like, there's a million. Where do you all
Yeah.
have to go so badly that gas is this valuable to you?
Oh, I remember now seeing the memes. It's like, blame it on the Californians. Pretty much everything, every problem that I'm seeing right now, everyone's like, blame it on the Californians.
Well,
Yeah.
you
I don't
know.
know. It's interesting. I saw a meme today that said it was this group of guys, and it was like, what do you think they're talking about? And the caption was probably how you can't talk about anything anymore.
Unfortunately.
It's so
My
ridiculous.
gosh.
Yeah.
I got when my little brother was in high school. He actually, for high school, had to read 1984, which I'm actually surprised that they actually have that book
Still have it. Yeah.
in high school. But so I got one year, I got him the 1984 and Animal Farm double book.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like, I don't know, 7-8 years ago. I said, here, read it. It's gonna happen. Already, a lot of it's already happened.
Prepare.
Animal
Prepare
Farm was
now.
great.
Yourself. Yeah.
Prepare now.
God, that's so scary.
Animal
Yeah.
Farm was a good book.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really good.
Well, you know, I don't know. I think that I think we're gonna be okay.
We'll be fine.
I'm not really concerned.
We'll be fine.
I mean, there's a lot of megaphoning that goes on, meaning there's a small group of fearful people
That are very
that get
loud.
to spread to the masses,
Yeah.
and I'm really not that concerned, because what we've seen, even during this whole last year, I mean, how much really affected you? Like, if you're honest, and this is probably very inconsiderate, because I know there's people out there that have lost their jobs and struggled. I get that, and I'm sorry for that. But, I mean, like, how did it really affect you? Like, honestly, you still got to go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
I mean, it cut down on all the distractions, probably.
Yeah.
You quit going to bars.
It was a mini vacation.
Yeah.
I laid out by my pool every single day.
People started gardening more, going outside
Yeah.
more. I remember just seeing the amount of people at parks, riding their
Yes.
bike,
Yep.
doing all these outdoor activities. I'm like, this is great. We
It
should
was-
we should stay
do
like
this.
this.
Yeah,
you know?
pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was almost kind of beautiful to see, especially like around our neighborhood, people out with their families. It'd be like
Yeah.
their parents, their grandparents, the baby, like all outside walking at all times. I'm like, people just outside enjoying nature. It was awesome.
Yeah.
At least I thought.
Yeah.
I remember seeing people out in on their driveways with lawn chairs, and like the neighbors are all pulled up. And I remember growing up as a kid, that's what we used to do. Like,
Right.
I remember my parents would do that in the summer. Like, they'd pull their their folding chairs, and then like the whole cul-de-sac would, huddle around someone's driveway, and they'd all chat for, 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then go inside, and they'd do that a couple times a week, and it was like the best. There was no phones, no cell phones,
Yeah.
no none of that.
Exactly.
No distractions, no texting, no internet, no Twitter, Instagram, and I do remember seeing that and thinking, wow, that's really cool. Like, the fact that everybody's kind of just, not everybody, but many people have just put their phone down for a second.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they realize, well, what else am I going to do? It proves how distracted we are.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That when we lost it all, everyone went, well, I guess I have nothing else to do
Right.
other than sit out on my driveway or go to the park or
Yeah.
play with my kids in the backyard. Like, the fact that that's the
Last
that's
resort.
the last resort
I know.
means that we've piled a little too much on top of it.
Yeah, I agree. I think I saw, this was like when we were in hard lockdown, and it was LA right before the lockdown, and it was like LA a month after the lockdown, and just completely day and night picture of the skyline.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the smog gone, was crystal clear blue. I'm like, man, that's kind of sad. I'm sure Dallas would be somewhere similar to that.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, but no. The LA skyline is horrific. It looks like hell. And people sit and they take pictures. Oh, it's so pretty. I'm like, that is not normal for a sky to look like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those
sunset
weird
is
shades
not-
of purple.
That is not
It's
normal.
not a real
No.
sunset.
No.
Yeah. Oh.
Speaking of social media and Instagram, I don't know if you guys have noticed the new update with Instagram, the fact that you can get rid of seeing how many likes a post has.
Yes.
So that didn't hit my account.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hit mine.
Yeah, it didn't hit mine.
Yeah.
So now all the posts, if you turn it on, or it'll show like one person liked it and others, it
Yeah.
says.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people posting about that, but I mean, I tell you guys all the time, Instagram just beta tests so many accounts.
yeah.
And so mine didn't do that.
Yeah.
But I was never like, I don't know. I was
don't
never
really
a person
care
like
about the
personally
likes.
affected by likes, whether you had a lot of likes or not. Like, I don't mind seeing them.
I
But
literally could care less.
yeah.
I could care.
At the very least, I'm glad, because I'm sure some people do care.
Oh, yeah.
And at least Instagram listens and beta tests all these, as frustrating as it may be.
Mm-hmm.
They're always testing, they're always improving and stuff, as opposed to something like Twitter,
Yeah.
which is like, this is the way it is and you'll like it.
Yeah.
No edit button.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Fleets.
That could be your podcast.
Yeah.
No edit button.
No edit button.
That's
Oh,
actually
geez.
a pretty clever name.
That's a
I
good
like
name.
It a lot.
I like that.
No
We'll
edit
save
button.
that.
Trying to see. So on the HiredUp account, do y'all see likes? Because I still see likes on the HiredUp account.
Well, you have. It's not that it takes it away. It's you just have the option to turn likes off.
Yeah.
Oh.
So when you post a picture, there's actually a toggle that you can say hide likes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Maybe I just haven't been paying attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Gotta
yeah,
mind.
I brought it up because I feel the same way. It didn't really have any effect on me, and
Yeah.
seeing if, although there's the if you get like 2 likes on something, instead of just saying 2 people liked it, it'll say like 1 person and others.
And others.
They won't know.
It'd been funny if they would put 1 person and other.
Yeah,
Other
right, yeah.
and one other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what though? It is true. Like we are very interested in how many likes we have.
Yeah.
Like it's whether you like I'm saying I don't care or not, but like I posted a picture yesterday and it had, I'm gonna tell you, it didn't do good. And it's such a, I thought about that and I was like, but it's not going, like, okay, so 31 people, that's not as bad as I thought it was. But I had one a couple weeks ago and it was like 9.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, archive.
Yeah.
But it's it's so
relatable.
it's so dumb though. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's silly.
I don't
I
know,
know.
but we get a I don't know why. Like, what is that actually? What are we actually thinking about when we think about? Oh gosh, this didn't get a lot of likes. Are we thinking? I don't think we're thinking people don't actually like it.
I think we're thinking other people are going to think. At least
I think
that
it's the
would go to my-
validation.
Yeah.
I think it's like, it's not so much do people actually like this pic, because here's what's interesting. I think if you put like a thumbs up or a thumbs down, that would be more interesting.
Reddit.
Yeah.
Or YouTube, because people could scroll by and like, I passed the amount of pictures that I actually like is silly. Like
Yeah.
I like 0 pictures, 0. Like I don't like any pictures. So I'm thinking, okay, well there are a lot of people out there that like them, but I won't like somebody's picture if I'm like,
Yeah. I'm very pointed with the things that I like on Instagram. It's either like friends from high school or college or whatever, people I like specifically know, or I'll like things so that way it shows up in the algorithm more. So like dog pictures, I always like them, just so that way it'll show up more, or like makeup videos. I always make sure to like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So-
weird. And then Instagram, if you post a video, like I posted a video yesterday or the other day, you can. A lot of people will view it,
Sure, and that's
but
fine.
few people will like it.
Yeah.
So you see how many views you have, but you can't see who viewed it.
Right.
But you only see like the likes.
Yeah.
So it's another weird
know.
thing. It's silly.
It's silly. It's silly, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think Reddit. I know Instagram isn't really comment based. It's not really made for a bunch of comments.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Reddit has by far the best system
Yeah.
for commenting, better than Facebook, better than anything, YouTube, because you have the thumbs up and the thumbs down. And then the thumbs up, the comment goes higher on the, on the feed.
Yeah.
And the thumbs down goes lower to the point where if there's enough thumbs down, they'll just, it'll hide it.
Oh.
It'll hide the comment. And then every user has karma.
Yeah.
And the karma is based on, the amount of thumbs up you get for your posts and for your comments and everything. And so people who have a lot of karma have a lot of, they're trusted more
Yeah.
when they comment and when they post in the community. So it's kind of a community governed sort of thing.
Right.
So
I feel like we've talked about this before, but it kind of reminds me of Yik Yak. Do you all remember
I loved
those?
Yik Yak.
I remember that.
I never used that.
It was
I
hilarious.
did for a little bit, but you could up arrow something and down arrow it. That's all I remember.
And it would shoot it up in the ranking.
Yeah.
Like more people would see it.
Mm.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is kind of like
It's
Taylor's
like
leaving.
Twitter and Reddit mixed together.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Reddit's very interesting. It's underrated.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's
Although
under-
don't go to politics. That
I know.
area's just a cesspool.
Off-rated.
Cesspool.
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
it.
Well, I think so. I think just in general, the stuff that we love to, or that we want to do, that we think we want to do. I know I speak from experience because I've gotten caught in this before. It's like, I want to be a film director. But am I actually spending do I want to do it am I focusing so much on the career aspect, or am I focusing on just the love of doing it? Because if you focus on the love of doing it and not thinking about money or I need to get in with this company and do all these things, if you just focus on the love of doing it, you're going to do it no matter what because you love it. And it's a catch-22 because the more you do that, the better you get at it, and the more people will see it, and the more opportunities will present themselves for you to actually get paid doing it. And especially in this sort of industry, entertainment or just content creation, we should be creating content not for the likes, not for the validation, not for anything else other than we just love doing it.
Yeah.
And we love talking about this thing, or we love photographing this thing outdoors or whatever.
Right.
No matter who likes it or whatever. Once you take that burden off of yourself, you're so much freer. And then things come your way anyways,
Right.
I think.
That's so true.
I think you're right.
That's
The
so
thing
true.
too that I would say is like I do think that loving what you do early on is a little overrated. Look, I'm all about like love what you do, go do something that sets your soul on fire every day.
Right.
However, I mean, come on, like sometimes you have to grind to get there.
Right.
Right.
I didn't love measuring guys' crotches. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I didn't really enjoy that, but I did it every day.
Yeah.
And I made a killing.
Right.
And you know what?
That's funny.
I went for the ride and I found myself along the way, which is what I told him today. I was like, I did not really enjoy, selling fabrics all day long and like measuring and doing all and tailoring. I didn't like all that. I didn't want to get down there on my hands and knees and chalk some guy's cuffs and like pin. No.
Oh man.
But I was the best at it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference is like,
Of course.
when I left that company, I was the highest. Like I was the best. I had dominated, like beat everybody in the office. I was excellent at it. If I would have left because I was failing and been like, this isn't for me. Like this is just more, another feather in my cap, more experience. Like, I'm just going to go to the next thing. And it's all a stepping stone. It's like, I think that's kind of wrong. Yeah. Like if you're going to do something, if you're going to leave it, you should leave it because you're the best. Because if you leave when you're the best, you're good.
Right.
No one can say anything about you. Not that matters, but kind of. And then also, like, it's great for your credibility, because if you leave something because you suck at it, because you never made the effort, then that's your fault.
I don't think a lot of people are taught that.
I don't think
you can just teach that.
That's a good point, Brianna.
Wow.
I think you're right. But there's also something within yourself that I know for me, I just want to never feel like I'm not giving 100%. I think that's the worst feeling.
Yeah.
Whatever that means doesn't necessarily mean like I ended up being the quote unquote best, but as long as I'm giving 100% of what I know I can give to something, I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied. When I was working in the restaurant industry, it definitely wasn't something that I was passionate about, but I wanted to be the best. I wanted everyone to have the best experience.
Yeah.
I wanted everything out. I wanted everything pristine. I wanted all our staff there, within 2 minutes. I wanted them to memorize the menu. I wanted every little thing good.
Right. I can get that.
So, and the thing is, once you have that mindset of that's going to lead you, you don't even know where it's going to lead you.
Right.
It's going to lead you somewhere good, though.
I guess, because I'm sitting here like listening to y'all, and I'm trying to think of like my mindset. And I guess it's similar to y'all's, just in a different way, because mine is like, I have my name on the line for this, and like it's my face, it's my name.
It's because you come from sports.
Yeah.
I think that's where that comes from.
Maybe. Yeah, because like I don't want to do I don't want to do a bad job, because it's my neck on the line. Or even just whenever I'm leaving a job, using them as a reference, for something. If I do a poor job, I'm like, that's done. I can't use them as a reference. I can't network through them or anything like that. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. And you're right, Brianna. It's a mixture of all of those things. And I think some it's something that you are born with, but it's something that you learn growing up.
Yeah.
Probably from your parents.
Yeah.
My dad's number one quote growing up was, "You will never regret doing your very best at everything you do."
Right.
Yeah.
He said that since the day I was born.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think
my dad's was grit builds character.
that's such a sports dad quote.
Yeah.
We would literally be out at the farm, and he's like plugging a hole in the tractor wheel, and he's like, "This builds character, Brianna." I'm like, I don't ever need to know how to do this. And he's like, you might.
That's
you never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
Shayna had to go out to her family's farm last week. She was sharing a bunch of DMs with me.
Oh.
They have so many animals, man.
Oh, really?
Just so many goats. Well, at least from my perspective,
Yeah.
They don't have any cows or cattle or anything, but just goats and ducks and chickens, and it was just so loud.
Yeah.
And she had to, because her dad, her dad fell ill for like 4 days.
Oh my gosh.
And her dad's the main caretaker for the farm.
Yeah.
And her mom has gotten very frail over the years, so she's unable to do it herself. So her dad is a welder. He owns his own welding company.
Oh, wow.
And so he'll go to work all day welding and then come home and then do all the farm work.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's one tough son of a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
that's tough.
and she comes in, and then she does everything. She had been doing that growing up, like all the time, just getting in the dirt and doing all the feeding the animals and cleaning, and raking hay and all that stuff, you know. And
Dang.
that, from my perspective, that did build character.
I was just
that
about to say.
did. I mean,
It builds character.
for who she is today, I'm like, you know, I know that sucked
Yeah.
for you in so many ways as you were growing
But
up.
it's good for me now.
It's
I
good.
know.
Yeah, well, it's good for her too, you know,
Yeah.
because, you know,
It benefits everybody that's in her sphere.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Farm work is hard. It's
Yeah.
never ending. Like, it's never ending. There's always like a fence to fix,
Yes.
Yeah.
or a
Always something
cow
to
that's
work on.
out,
yeah.
or something that's broken,
Yeah.
or a
When my-
baby that's being born. There's always something happening.
When my sister and I were grounded when we were little, or high school, whatever, my mom would send us to our dad's farm, and we'd have to cut mesquite trees, like out in the
Hardest
middle.
trees
Yes.
ever.
And we would have to clip them. Like, the clippers were
Yeah.
bigger than my sister and I. We'd have to clip them at the bottom and then like spray this solution on it, and it would be like acres and acres of just mesquite trees.
Yeah.
Wow.
never ending.
And they have the thorns on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So we just had to like put it in a small pile next to it, and then my
Wow.
dad would come pick them up.
Wow.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a decent punishment.
Yeah.
It was awful. It was terrible.
Get out there and chop those trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Mesquite
that, though.
trees.
Mesquite trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the farm thing is cool, but it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's cool because you can kind of live off the land, you
Yeah.
know, like you can eat your own vegetables and you can eat your own eggs, and you can, you know, if you want to kill a cow every now and then, like that's great. But I don't know. It's just,
It's a lot.
yeah, you got to really be committed to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a full-time
You
gig.
should do.
Absolutely.
Full-time gig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, were you about to end?
No.
Oh, I thought you said, all right. Well, as far as app is concerned, I've personified the app.
yeah.
As far as app is concerned, we're in a good spot. I say that every single week, I feel like. But we are really in a good spot. Getting this thing to, for those listening, and I got some questions about this, so I know there's people that are listening. But we basically flipped we pretty much tore the entire app apart and changed it, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically completely different now. Totally different application. And I'm really looking forward to that. And again, it's totally built on customer feedback. I want to do a video about this later too.
Yeah.
Just about how, like, it's being married to the product is the death wish.
Yeah.
Because when you're married to your solution, you're never tuned in enough to your problem.
Right.
And if the customer's problem changes, or if they're saying it's a different thing than what you thought it was, it's your job to move to that, not to stay with your original. It's like, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. Like it actually, I think that what happens is some people think that they have to, if they change their mind, it appears weak.
Yeah.
And that's very incorrect. A very wise man and good friend of mine told me, he said, I can't say who it is, but he told me, he said, just because you order a shit sandwich doesn't mean you have to eat a shit sandwich. I was like, that's great. Like, just,
So
I mean,
true.
yeah, even if you do something with total conviction, like you can back out of it, even if it's a disaster.
Absolutely.
And I can speak to that from experience. Like, if you make a bad decision, it is not, it's worse to hang on to it
Oh, yeah.
Right.
than to back out.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I feel
think,
like at that point it's just your ego getting in the way of,
oh, completely. So with the app, we're doing a good job. You guys are crushing it. I mean, you've put that thing together so fast.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
it's I'm just thankful for our programming and team be able to
Yeah.
actually bring it to life, you know?
Yeah.
It's cool that they can take that and actually make it into a
Yeah.
working software.
Right.
How long did it take them? Because I don't feel it. It
2
feels
weeks.
shorter than a month.
2
Holy
weeks.
crap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
14 days. Actually, 10 days. Because,
That's crazy.
I mean, well, they worked some weekends too. So
Yeah.
like 12, 13 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's still a lot of changes to come.
Yeah.
Like everything is not going to be in this run, but a lot of it will be. The big things will be.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, taking the onboarding down from about 2 minutes to 15 seconds, removing the requirement, that right there is huge. Removing the requirement to to post a company story video. Now that's optional. And then also allowing people to screen all of their candidates and look at any job that's out there without having to pay, up until the point you want to actually dial the phone number of that candidate, is going to allow people just so much transparency. Like they can get 100% of the value up until they actually make that phone call.
Agreed.
Which is great.
Yeah.
It's great.
The login screen. So do they just create a login and then they have the option to finish their account later? Is that what it's-
Yeah. So we basically took some of the original onboarding screens and we put them inside the app. So
see.
they're going to be able to get inside the app a lot faster and then
Gotcha.
complete their profile once they're in the app, which is
Gotcha.
a pretty common thing. You don't complete everything, Facebook or whatever. It's like
Right.
you basically are able to do a username, password, get in, and then and then once you're in, you can upload your photo, you can change your
Right.
bio, you can do all these different things. So
I think the cool thing about this whole process, because what I love so much about marketing and social media is like really like getting into the minds of your target audience and like what kind of things would they like and what makes them tick and stuff like that. And very similar to this, it's like, why do people do this? Like what makes them jump out of the app now versus later? Like really dissecting the psychology of how people use an app.
You got it.
that's UX.
You got it.
Yeah,
That's the whole thing.
it's crazy.
And that's what we've done a really good job of, is learning why do they jump out here? Where do they jump out? Oh, it's because it's taking way too long.
Right.
To us, it makes perfect sense because, like, look at all these great data points we're collecting. They're goals and they're this and they're that. And it's like, imagine being on the other side of it. You'd be like, just let me in the freaking thing so I can see what this is all about to decide if I even want to use this
Right.
app or not, right?
Exactly.
So,
And it's a never-ending process.
Oh, yeah.
There's always going to be tweaks and changes and
It's like a
case
farm.
studies and all
it's
that
like the
fun
farm.
stuff.
Yeah.
There's always a fence to fix.
Yeah.
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 Exactly.
Exactly.
But even down to like the color of the buttons, like which one would resonate with people
It's-
for
it's-
taking that action.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
Don't
I
Make
know.
Me Think is probably one of the number one
Yeah.
requirements
Yeah.
of great design. I shouldn't have to think about what to do next or how to do something. It should be
That's
so
so true.
intuitive. And that's a process.
Yeah.
How is the content going for you individually?
Slow down a little.
I mean, I'm posting a little bit more than I did before. I just need to get more photos and videos and stuff.
Yeah.
I took a lot when I was in Austin,
Yeah.
but I kind of want to slow drip. I don't want to just
Right. Exactly.
Dump
burst
them all.
everything
Yeah,
out,
exactly.
So
Yeah.
I'll start doing that, and that was really cool, by the way. Like we went to the
Mm-hmm.
the Canyonlands, yeah. No one there. I mean, literally
awesome.
no one. We were the only ones there, and so we're just like hiking and around, and
That's
it's just
cool.
like being in the middle of this preserve,
Yeah.
and just sitting, and just hearing how quiet it is.
Do people not know about it or? is
No,
it
I
just
think
kind of
we went on
discovered?
a Friday, and it was also right before the hurricane that went through. So everyone was probably like, "Yeah, I'm not going."
Like, look
Those
at
people are
these
crazy.
crazies
Yeah,
driving down
yeah,
there.
exactly. So, but
That's
it all worked out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was
That's
really
fun.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah, the pictures and the videos is what's tough. It's just
Yeah.
getting content.
I know.
And I've been playing around with the captions. Like I've stopped liking the long, like, let me teach you something
Right.
captions. It's like one of the, picture of me. One thing I've learned this week and waking up, it's just like, blech. So I've quit doing that. And I'm just going with the simple stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, look at this mountain, or,
Yeah. Sometimes simple is better, you know. It's whatever works for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were in Houston, and I was having Hayden like get pictures with me and of me, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I need content. I have nothing to post."
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, what are you going to talk about?" I was like, "I don't know." But yeah.
Save it. Have a
That's
I
backlog.
know
amazing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Just have a backlog.
Have
of
a
stuff.
backlog. Have it in the
Great.
can.
Yeah.
Hey,
'Cause
guys.
you never know when you can use it, or even just like talk about something that's not necessarily related to the photo. But
Totally.
yeah.
I need to get Shayna to take more pictures of me because I'm always taking pictures of her. 'Cause I
Yeah.
always have the camera.
Yeah, I
So
know.
Yeah.
needs to be a two-way street.
Exactly.
You know? So because she never posts anything. So
Yeah. Yeah, I try to get pictures of Hayden, and he won't let me.
Really?
although I
I'm
enjoy.
like, start your YouTube channel. Start
Yeah. There you go.
I know.
Yeah.
Start your YouTube channel.
Yeah. Although I always love being behind the camera and doing that. So
No. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's fun being behind the camera. You know, I hated being on camera
Really?
up until like probably till this. Probably like 2 years ago, like a year and a half ago.
That's crazy.
Really didn't like it.
Huh. What got you over that?
I just did it more.
Yeah.
Just kept doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally I was just like, the heck with it. I'm just going to just do it all.
Right. I think the more you do it, the more you stop caring about, like, is it perfect or,
Oh, yeah.
you know, whatever. And you just post it, you know.
Yep. Without a doubt.
you know what the funny thing is all my life I actually loved being in front of the camera.
Really?
Really?
And then I told myself that I didn't.
Huh.
And I told, I'd rather be behind, which I do. I do love being behind the camera.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like in high school, for instance, I had the option of doing, because we went to a magnet school,
Mm-hmm.
I had the option of doing the two things I was interested in, which was, one was the theater,
Yeah.
super,
Yeah.
theatrical, which I was good at. I was good at memorizing
Mm-hmm.
lines. I was good at gesticulating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is important. Or going communications, which is TV and video and everything. And most of my friends went to communications. And so I was like, well, I guess I want to do that.
Yeah.
And then do the theater thing, which is what my friend Caleb did. And I don't know if have I told you about my friend Caleb?
I don't
He's
think
an
so.
actor.
Okay.
He's been in some big movies, actually.
No way. So he went the theater route.
He went
and
the
now's
theater
an
route
actor.
in my high school, and then there was a competition in that magnet you basically, the winner got an agent.
Whoa, what
And
a cool
he-
thing.
And he
Dang.
won. And then he ended up doing, he would do small movies, and then he ended up doing something like X-Men or something like that.
What?
Wow.
And then he kind of blew up a little bit, although he always played the weird. He played weird. I mean, he's a weird kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
But sometimes I would think, if I actually went with
Yeah,
my gut
what
and
if?
did theater and then did that competition and
Sure.
then got that agent, like
Yeah.
I could have. Although, like I don't.
Like
You
Uncle
can't-
I
Rico.
enjoy
can't
where I
live
am
a
now.
life of what
Yeah.
ifs. You have to go sign up for acting classes.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. I did some. What is it called?
If I could go back in time,
Yeah.
I'd take state.
Yeah.
Living in a big old mansion
Yeah.
somewhere.
Although I will
Oh,
say
man.
though, just my time briefly in the Hollywood sphere, like
Not your scene.
I'm here for a reason,
Right.
Yeah.
because even just what I was doing there, it was pretty nasty.
Yeah.
The stuff that was going on. So
Toxic.
yeah,
Yeah.
So,
I'd imagine so.
but I think we should all just kind of trust our gut and do what we're good at, and
Yeah.
That's
Agree.
the thing. I told a kid this weekend at a wedding. He was like, hey, I want to start a podcast. Brother to a good friend of mine. So, he goes, I see what you guys are doing. It's awesome. I love it. He goes, my dream has always been to have, like, I've always dreamed of having a podcast or a radio show, and I can just talk about whatever I want to talk about, like whatever I'm into at the time, like sports or this or that. And I looked at him, I was like,
Go do it.
then do it. Like, why? I don't understand.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I don't know how to do it. So I sent him an article I wrote about it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
just do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's cool, is that we live in a time where if you want to talk about woodworking, you can create an entire brand
Yeah,
out
I
of
know.
woodworking.
Yeah.
Podcasts and articles and videos and TV shows, and oh my gosh, I mean, half the crap on HGTV is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like these people, they really enjoy
Right.
talking about shiplap, and there you go.
Or that guy who has the construction media company.
Boom.
Like,
Yep, Aaron.
talk about, such a niche area.
Do you know that he started that company having no idea what they were going to do to actually generate revenue? Like, he didn't even know that it would become a media company. He just grabbed a camera, went to a construction site, and started, like, taking pictures and, like, talking to people. He had no idea, like, how that was actually going to develop, like, what was this company even going to do?
That
What was
is
it going to
crazy.
be? And then it kind of just found itself. It just
Yeah.
happened. Like, one person just said, hey, we'll pay you to do that. And he was like, oh, I guess that's my business.
Yeah.
And boom.
It's
That's
all
wild.
about putting one foot in front of the other, especially with the podcast thing. I know podcasts that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers or listeners. Terrible audio.
Yeah.
Terrible. Because they're basically just recording on a Zoom or on their phone.
Yeah. That's how I feel about who's the guy we had on his podcast. I don't want to say.
Who is it?
Jonah Feingold.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Their audio is terrible. I'm like,
It's
how do y'all
it's
have this many
terrible.
people
And then he
involved?
was mad
Yeah. That his audio was bad.
that his audio was bad
Yeah.
on our podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm
Your
like,
audio sounds like
I
a
know.
potato, bro.
I
it's
know.
That's why I've been recording podcasts on my headphones.
Yeah.
Because, like, well,
Well-
here's what, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I told you guys the other day, like, production quality. Well, I shouldn't say it's going down, but it's not as important anymore. Like,
Yes.
the value of your content matters.
Yes.
So even if it's just recording on your headphones and posting it out, as long as it's valuable, people don't care about having the best.
I mean,
Yeah.
you don't want something that's so
Really bad.
that
Right.
you
No.
can't even pay attention.
Static.
Right.
But to a certain extent, like, this is all really nice and this is cool because it's the production quality for our company and, like, we have this certain look and feel. But at the end of the day, like, if we want to put a message out there, what do? We always get on Instagram stories and we say, hey, guys, here's what we're doing.
Right.
We don't come in here and create this flashy video. Like, it's not, this is just an environment to facilitate.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's cool about, like, podcasting with headphones or just
Right.
setting up the phone and recording is that it's just the faster you can get from the moment something hits you to having it locked in is the better.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, I have a friend who had started a podcast and he's been doing pretty well, and it's kind of getting to that point where he's like tailing off a little bit. And I was telling someone, I was like, it's the consistency that's the hardest part.
Right.
You can start a podcast all day long and it can be great. You just have to stay consistent at it. I mean, same with
Right.
social media too. It's always the hardest part.
Right.
It's just,
it's so hard.
yeah.
So hard.
Yeah.
It's the consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways. Okay. Anything else you guys got?
Staying busy, working on the app. It's getting better every day. We're excited for this to release this new update. We're going to be doing a lot of content surrounding that and talking about it and sharing some screenshots. And we hope that if you have not downloaded the app yet, this will be a perfect time to do that because we listen to so many of our customers and we have made the app 100 times better than it's ever been. So
Amazing.
Agreed. It's amazing. It is really good. Really good. Okay, guys. We'll see you next week.